concerned, and RQ Hoshi right now, looking at ALPHA7, actually for both teams, they honestly have the same lineup here. They have a roamer, they have a gold laner, and they have a jungler. Both teams are missing EXP as well as the mid laner. So RQ Hoshi opting to stop EXPs, stopping the high loss seems like a good idea.
I feel like they're gonna try and just limit the amount of frontliners. They can kind of like stop everyone from RQ Hoshi from diving in. Because with a Herald and a Suyo, you want to be able to have that opportunity to go into the backline and burst down the Granger, you know, because otherwise it's just Kite City for ALPHA7 here. So I do feel like maybe something that can kind of disrupt the formations will be great for RQ Hoshi. Because if they, on paper at least, if they want to go full on dive, there's a chance that they get counter-engaged by the Kalia too, right? So it's a bit of a similar situation, but different win condition because of that gold lane, right? The dive nature of the Herald and that long-range poke potential of the Granger.
Honestly, right now I feel like ALPHA7 and RQ Hoshi, they have a pretty good lineup that depends on their roamer. Because again, Akira and Akira, very big playmakers, but also has the tendency of you missing your ability and then just making a false engage where your own team gets deceived and then put themselves in a very bad spot. I don't expect to see that kind of play coming in from both roamers, especially from the Kalia, because Kalia is very easy to engage with. The only way that you can whiff with Kalia is if you jump on the wall with the tidal wave, and then everyone just dashes away from your tidal wave. But again, the animation is so quick, I don't really see that happening.
Definitely, it's not a skill that you can or you're supposed to react to. But for RQ Hoshi, surprisingly, against the Granger, they're the ones betting on the Gatot Kacha here. And that's a solution that Keski has used before to go against a front-to-back. For the side of ALPHA7, the Hilda first, now the Badang as well. A lot of the strong laners that usually can be put in the hands of Tyrant to really disrupt, win the lane, and get a rotational advantage. First pick though goes to RRQ, so with the limited amount of EXP laners, with both teams banning 4 in total out, they have a chance to pick it up first, but they go for the Valentina.
This is good. They pick up the Valentina first. If ALPHA7 does not pick up a Lucas, Valentina goes mid. If ALPHA7 picks up a Lucas, Valentina goes EXP. This is very smart from RQ Hoshi.
It's great, great cover of all their bases here from RQ for sure. Now ALPHA7 Esports with dealing with that preposition here. Do they want to risk it all and just bring the Lucas anyways? Or are they gonna...
Takashi is a good Benedetta player.
Benedetta, huh? That can work for sure, but then that would just lock ALPHA7 Esports into the situation where they have to really win the early game or fall short later on in the mid to late game.
Time is running out. ALPHA7, they gotta lock in their heroes now. It looks like they're locking in Sicilian as well as Edith. I feel like this is a very good pickup here. So now RQ Hoshi, actually even the Valentina does well against the Edith because you can pick the Primal Wrath and then just do a lot of damage if you have Warcry. And then they pick up Lucas.
Oh boy. I thought that the main idea for RRQ is just to make sure that there's no more big engages that can be used, looking at how they were willing to ban with the Gatot as well. But yeah, with the Primal Wrath available, well, with the fact that they're up against a Sicilian, this kind of leads RRQ to having a bit more to say in the early game. So I think for the Hayabusa of ALPHA7 Esports, mainly, it's gonna be a bit tough here. I don't think with the Valentina, Tigreal, and Suyo combo, RRQ are gonna take it easy in the early game.
Yeah, despite letting go of the Kalia, I actually do like the draft coming in from RQ Hoshi. They have a lot of options here where the Valentina, you can take away the Tsunami Slam and have a big engage, so you don't have to wait on your Tigreal. Or for more damage, just take the Primal Wrath, just deal quite a lot of damage. We're gonna see if the Valentina has a Warcry. I'm thinking it's gonna take the Edith off.
It's definitely the way to go, most likely. Let's see how this goes, man. Potential fireworks in the early game. This is ALPHA7 against RRQ Hoshi, game number 1.
Yep, looks like Rinse is taking Quantum Charge as well. Basically a generally good emblem taker. So now looking at both lineups, not really expecting a lot of aggression coming in until the turtle comes up. The only thing is I feel like Rinse as a Valentina, you just want to poke out ALPHA7 as much as you can, just so that you can have this lead for EXP.
The Quantum Charge choice here for Rinse, it kind of suits his style. He wants to be up close and personal, and that extra bit of movement speed is going to allow him to actually be more active, and it's also good sustain because Rinse likes trading a lot. In the mid lane though, already, we have a 2v2 here. I think that Kalia is the great equalizer. Ooh. Okay.
Something to note as well, here we can see that Rinse is using Tenacity and Purified. So Vanguin using this Kalia needs to really choose his targets well. If he picks up the Lucas can have an easier engage on the team, so that doesn't seem good. And if you pick up the Tigreal doesn't need his flicker to engage. So this is actually a situation where RQ Hoshi, they make it difficult for the Kalia to choose which targets to catch unless they can force out the Purify early and then eventually catch them again.
Look at this laning from Dairon though, bullying Takashi all the way as much as possible, and the wave is getting frozen. It's gonna push towards our Q right here, and Takashi won't be able to really do anything about it here. He might be forced to miss a full-on EXP card. That's gonna mean a level 4 advantage for Dairon once the fight takes place at the turtle.
Yeah, that's rough, but looks like Takashi is gonna clear that lane and eventually hit level 4. Anyway, it looks like this is gonna be a very free turtle for RQ Hoshi. Takashi was able to back away, so not gonna get caught by the rotation coming in from Rinse. Looks like for both teams, looks like they're gonna take it a little bit slow, and I kind of feel like it's fine because they both have generally good scaling, a little bit better for ALPHA7 just because of the nature of the unlimited scaling coming in from Sicilian.
Don't forget the Granger as well, now working with those stacks too. The later the game goes, more Death Sonatas. For RQ Hoshi though, they haven't really made any move into the jungle. Oh, as I say that,
looks like Toy is able to, oh sorry, looks like Riz is gonna get in there and Susujin gets the kill. I forgot I was play-by-play, for real.
There's just so much tension right here. At any moment there, I was just saying that RQ Hoshi are not going in, but look at this, Dairon, 1v2.
Yep, Ogi shadow kill onto Dairon, but at this point, he's a little bit too tanky as a Lucas. 3 members from RQ Hoshi charges to Takashi, and Takashi has to use the Primal Wrath just to get away.
What he is doing is like a lot of fighting power right here. Takashi though, just takes him out. He did a way more than he could chew.
I want to see the itemization from Dairon. Usually that kind of damage coming in from Lucas indicates a War Axe, but maybe he just got enough of a lead that he doesn't need a War Axe to do that.
Just the power of the Lucas, man. There's so much pressure there, and even though Takashi was trying his best to kind of move back and forth, like he got kind of baited there by the situation. Now look at this potential dive.
Yep. Okay. Takashi is able to clear up the minions, so far not going to be that big of an issue. Vanguin does not have any kind of a crazy engage on this Kalia, where it looks like he has to use the flicker more defensively rather than offensively.
But considering that just earlier, ewok was the one pulling the trigger on that engage, it's a bit of a contest here. Who's gonna actually make the aggressive move first, right? It's a game of chicken for both roamers. Now, at the neutral objective, this is where the moment of truth is for both of these roamers to make a move happen for their team.
Well, looks like an engage is going to happen against ewok. Ewok is going to pull Vanguin back, but Vanguin still gets the kill onto ewok. But look at Toy. Susujin gets a kill onto Vanguin. RQ Hoshi, they're controlling the turtle at this moment. Gusta Lagusta is using the opportunity to get any kind of poke that he can. Either ways, RQ Hoshi wins that trade. Ooh. Oh, it is not over. Susujin is looking at Gusta Lagusta, and it looks like 4 members of RQ Hoshi are hovering the bottom lane.
RQ, man, they get something, they gotta push a bit further to see if they can get even more. But right now, the composition for ALPHA7 is that they have 2 great utility picks, the Edith and the Kalia, but they don't really have anyone that can kind of stand in the front and take all that damage. Not right now, at least, without some more items. So for RQ Hoshi, as long as they all land their damage onto the right person, the same person, it seems like ALPHA7 esports are going to be forced to concede ground just because they can't really sustain from the initial collision.
Personally, for me, if anyone's going to frontline, it is going to be Takashi, just so that he can get a little bit more stacking in before he uses the Primal Wrath. But still, you prefer not to. Right now, RQ Hoshi, they're 2,000 gold ahead. ALPHA7 being... I would say this is a spot that they really don't want to be in.
Absolutely not, man. Letting RQ move around as they please. But what choice do they have? Even down there, ALPHA7 were trying to match the push. We're trying to clear the wave and save their bottom side turret. RQ Hoshi immediately go into the jungle and just threaten the potential for ewok to make a move here, especially with the flicker available. It's just way too dangerous, and ALPHA7 are just trying their best to avoid it, but Bagong...
Oh, looks like he engages, forces out the Purify, but Gusta still gets taken down. Dairon goes to the back line, trying to get a kill, but he himself gets taken down by Syndra. And now RQ Hoshi, are they overstaying their welcome? Rinse, very, very low HP, just one attack away from death. Escapes, just barely there. And I was saying Dairon looks like he's going for a War Axe, and looks like that is going to be his first item, the War Axe.
It's going to be way more damage, way more sustain for Dairon when he's frontlining. But right now, ALPHA7 esports have control over the turtle situation. RQ Hoshi might have made a mistake here.
Yeah, ewok trying to check the bush. Dashes away. Kingzil gets a kill. Oh. Penguin has no place to go. Killing spree for zyzyy. Zaman Force activated by Toy just to push ALPHA7 away from the turtle.
ALPHA7 esports were the one to try and attempt the pickoff, but RQ Hoshi were able to match it. It's almost like they got what they wanted and pulled back, but Bagong was kind of left alone in the front there. That's the all-in nature of that Kalia, man. Not a lot of ways to exit from the fight once you jump in. So RQ Hoshi...
Yeah, sorry for cutting. This is why, personally for me, when I'm using a Kalia, I want someone with a little bit more burst, because we saw that ewok was engaged on, but it took a while for him to die. He's able to dash away first, bring someone with him, and then gets a trade. So, you know, I just don't like Kalia paired up with a late game hero.
And ALPHA7 esports, maybe they would have had access to more damage, more burst, if they had more items, right? They're almost 4k gold behind at this point, which is why they have to take it a bit easy here. Later on, when Gusta and Syndra can deal that insane late game damage, then the Kalia becomes a bit more of a threat. Right now, though, RQ Hoshi are just very happy to take these moments, fights like that. And Rince, earlier, escaping with a sliver of HP, that's what he plans on doing, man. Getting up close and personal. That's exactly why he went for the tenacity. He wants that damage reduction because he knows he's going to be in the thick of it.
Right now, Gusta, yes, thick of it, I know, but
yes,
that's so last year, okay? Okay, probably last year, but either ways. Gusta, he has the Sky Piercer, so if he's able to get a kill, maybe things can turn around for ALPHA7, but, you know, it depends on where they get a good catch or not, which looks like Bagong is struggling to get a good catch.
I think this formation here, 3-2 from RRQ, two members on the bottom side, attempting a potential pickoff, and they have Dairon, who is going to be so tanky that even if ALPHA7 esports take him out, it's going to come at a cost, but it might just happen.
Looks like an engage is going on. Not sure what happened there, but big damage. zyzyy gets a kill onto Syndra. Toy able to take down Kingzil, and that's a wipeout. What? One engage and it's a wipeout.
Bro, the damage, the engage, the juggling of turret aggro. RQ Hoshi, that was a clean fight, and they're not even rushing to take the Lord. They're just pushing out objectives here. They know they can use the Lord to try and bait another fight afterwards. That was crazy, man. I mean, zyzyy just dropped a malefic war right there, and you're immediately deleted straight up.
Yeah, it was unfortunate. The camera was panning away, but the way that it's set up, it looks like with the implosion, and then maybe Dairon got the other two changing his form and then grabbing two, and then afterwards just zyzyy and Toy dealing damage, but that was a big setup. I was not sure how it started. We just know.
I think think it started with Dyro just walking into ALPHA7 Esports, and they were kind of confused. Like, do we try and pick him off? He's really strong right now, this Lucas, right? Or do we back away? And in the middle of the hesitation, I think that's where Araki Hoshi potentially made a move there to force ALPHA7 into a fight. Now though, they have this Lord. So ALPHA7 Esports, what's the plan here? If they want to go for some kind of moment, they can. They have good clear with the Granger and the Sicilian. You just have to be careful of the engaged potential of Araki Hoshi.
Power them, just clear minions. Just clear minions, wait for 18 minutes, and then maybe you have enough stacks on the Sicilian to get a kill, you know?
At this point, the clock definitely is favoring ALPHA7 Esports, so Araki Hoshi have that urgency, and that's why they're pushing really aggressively right now. The base, the protection is going to be used up in the mid lane as well, but that's one base tower taken for Araki Hoshi, and they might get the one on top as well.
Right now, Araki Hoshi with the conceal, looking for someone. It looks like an engage coming in from the Kalia, but he's gonna get that kill. Look at Implosion grabbing two. Kingzilla gets taken down. Takashi tries to return the damage, but he does not have the items just yet. Kingzilla and Penguin got taken down alongside with Edok.
Hold on a second here. RRQ are still staying around. They have the members advantage, but they have no HP to speak of. I feel like ALPHA7, like sacrificing two members, are able to maintain that top side base turret, and that's great because the Lord is on the bottom side. So for now, Araki Hoshi at a 10k gold lead, but they won't have a default push advantage from the waves on the top side. As we take a look at some of the items right here, the Queen's Wings for Dyron, man. He knows he's going to be getting all in there, wanting more reduction, more sustain. The all-in nature of the Lucas is being used to its full potential right here. And for Boy, he's still scaling up really well. 3 items with the Holy Crystal already completed, so the burst damage and the DPS is actually really great for our RRQ. Whereas for ALPHA7, I think they have a Sky Piercer on the side of Gusta Lagusta, but he doesn't have stacks to speak of right here. And look at his pickup though.
Hey, that's the first stack. It always starts with 1, right?
Yes.
So you got 1 stack and then work on it. Like, maybe they could do it.
Maybe, man. Yes, Sinja as well already has the Wishing Lantern. So now for Araki Hoshi, at least when it comes to the dance, the poke game, ALPHA7 Esports are a real player. Like, they have actual damage to speak of. Araki Hoshi though, definitely with a bit of disrespect, they're sending Dyron alone, 1v5 technically. But the Lord might just be taken right here. ALPHA7 Esports are nowhere close.
I feel like it's hard for them to contest as well. At this point, I would just use this opportunity to control your own jungle and try to give as many stacks to Syndra and as many gold to Gusta Lagusta, because yeah, I feel like if they try to contest, that would be a big trouble.
I feel that's definitely the way to go right here with that composition. For ALPHA7 Esports though, I feel like now, right, when they are ramping up in damage, when 1 or 2 items, or almost 3 items have been completed for their main backline carries, the Sicilian and the Granger, they can start pivoting more towards a proper front to back. And what that means is they should be using the Earth Shatter, all these other crowd control tools from the Kalia and the Edith to kind of stop Edok. Because realistically here, if Edok doesn't get a big implosion, there's not a lot of ways for Araki Hoshi to really get everyone together and go for that big combo, big damage, right? And if it becomes a long, drawn-out, sustained battle, ALPHA7 Esports have the lead here, have the advantage.
Conceal was cancelled by Gusta Lagusta with the Rhapsody hitting on to Edok. Ward is in the bottom lane. Dyron flickers in, but almost no HP. Looks like the Kalia was able to grab Syzygy, but the Kalia gets taken down. Edok gets taken down as well, but Toy is ending the game, and game number 1 goes over to Araki Hoshi.
A dominant performance there for Araki Hoshi. ALPHA7, if the game went